Pulse chain.
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 Now, how many times has Richard Hart been right over the years, where he's been in a debate or a discussion or an argument, or he's talking about things happening in the industry? He's been right over and over again. Now, we have some potentially very important legislation that could be coming out in the foreseeable future in the EU. So the European Union seems to be again taking the fight to crypto, or against crypto, should we say. They seem to be anti-crypto, so that they have some legislation that is coming in. Now, our friend Somi here with another excellent post bringing us the news, and he says, Justin, Richard Hart was right again. The EU has proposed regulations to require every DeFi front-end website to implement KYC verification, unless they're using a state-authorized software program that you install on your own device. Now, in 2023, Richard Hart made Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex websites behind IPFS decentralized cloud share. Also in 2023, Cointelegraph made disgusting articles that were anti-Pulse Chain, anti-Hex, and anti-Richard Hart. Now we'll go over to Cointelegraph and see this article that Somi has posted the link to. And they say DeFi may struggle to stay decentralized after new EU law. DeFi's exemption from a MiCA regulation. Now, if you don't know what MiCA regulation is, it is market in crypto assets. The European Union's market in crypto assets regulations aim to make the crypto industry in the Eurozone a transparent and secure environment for investors. That's always the kind of thing they say, but often, as we've seen, there's also a hidden agenda to clamp down on things they don't approve of. Now, MiCA regulation aims to foster use of innovative technology by setting a regulatory framework that covers crypto assets, crypto asset issuers, and crypto asset service providers. So that's a brief synopsis of what MiCA is. MiCA regulation may fade as an update targets protocols with centralized components. So DeFi exemptions. The sector could split between hybrid and DeFi models. New regulations in the EU may soon force decentralized finance protocols to make tough decisions. At the heart of the issue is the tendency of many DeFi protocols to have a centralized front end and intermediaries. The EU's market in crypto assets regulation will come into full force by the end of 2024. Will require DeFi protocols to adhere to the same licensing as know your customer requirements as the traditional financial service firms. A burden many DeFi protocols may be unable or unwilling to bear. According to MakerDAO co-founder Rune Christensen, only fully decentralized local downloaded frontends or full KYC online frontends would be possible. So here's Rune with their post. Heard today there's a good chance that all EU national financial regulators will interpret DeFi frontends to require a MiCA license. This would make DeFi frontends on normal internet domains as we know them today impossible. Only fully decentralized local downloaded frontends or full KYC online frontends would be possible. Sad. This leaves DeFi protocols with a choice: either pivot to somewhat centralized hybrid finance, Hi-Fi model to comply with EU regulations, or decentralize entirely. So that goes back to the post here, what Asami was saying, that Richard Hart now uses the IPFS decentralized cloud share. So he's moved to that decentralized entirely model. Within the EU regulation, fully decentralized protocols are exempt from falling into MiCA requirements as mentioned in recital 22, which is where crypto asset service providers are in a fully decentralized manner without any intermediary. They should not fall within the scope of this regulation. Now, Oliver Volko, an attorney and partner of law firm Stadler Volko, has studied the EU's regulation of crypto assets in depth. He told Cointelegraph that the immediate question posed by this section of MiCA is what exactly is meant by without an intermediary and in a full decentralized manner. He said smart contracts that are used in the provision of crypto asset services in themselves not even suitable to create the appearance of exclusive decentralizations. Yeah, that is pretty worrying. Some of these kind of terms that are quite vague, they can use against you. Companies can use smart contracts to provide crypto asset services in their name. Volcker concluded that such cases, the smart contract is merely a tool used by the company. Only natural persons and legal entities can hold rights and obligations, make and receive legal declarations, provide and receive services, and be the addressee of a law or supervised under an act such as MiCA. However, Volcker believes that EU lawmakers correctly recognize that none of this is the case if a crypto assets can be assessed without an intermediary in an exclusively decentralized manner. With MiCA set to come into full force by the end of 2024, DeFi protocols operating in Europe will have to decide whether to fully decentralize, effectively sidestepping regulations, or apply KYC measures like in any other centralized company that offers financial services. Now, will DeFi split into two? Nathan Catania, a partner at HEXiKlub consulting firm specializing in crypto asset regulations, told Cointelegraph that the new wave of regulation could split the sector. Regulation represents a fork in the road for many DeFi projects. They will either embrace decentralization and move further outside the regulatory perimeter, or accept that some regulation is required based on their particular model and move more towards hybrid finance state. In his opinion, those who do embrace decentralized regulations such as the MiCA in Europe will draw clearer lines in the sand. This new set of rules will provide more clarity on how to build truly decentralized applications to comply with regulatory requirements. Indeed, DeFi protocols will have to look hard at how they do business to ensure their platforms are truly decentralized and don't fall afoul of the law. Catania suggested that they thoroughly assess the regulation and engage with their national regulatory authorities to ensure they are protected if possible. The DeFi sector can implement several workarounds to ensure decentralizations, one important being the decentralization of website front ends. Decentralized web hosting involving deploying websites on peer-to-peer servers using advanced cryptography. Thomas Crows, a deputy executive director of Urbit, an open source peer-to-peer decentralized personal server platform, explained to Cointelegraph that decentralized hosting offers protection to front ends as they can't be taken down. He said that even Urbit couldn't remove the contents on its nodes if required. Whichever path a protocol chooses, regulation is here. Advocates of decentralization may soon see DeFi transform into something closer to traditional finance, the very industry they set out to disrupt. Will the industry thrive in a decentralized digital universe, or will the potential injection of capital from traditional market movers change the sector? Now, DeFi needs to comply to attract institutional investors. This is probably true. Regulators are given increased attention to DeFi as the sector matures and grows in popularity, as exemplified by the EU's MiCA and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission's enforcement action against popular DeFi protocols. On April 24th, Uniswap became the first decentralized protocol to be issued a Wells notice, an official notification issued by regulators to inform individuals or companies that the regulator has completed an investigation and discovered infractions that will be brought to court. The CEO of Uniswap, Hayden Adams, responded that he wasn't surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight. Adam Simmons, Chief Strategy Officer at DeFi platform Radix, told Cointelegraph that most people would agree that safeguards are needed. He believes that the regulatory requirements for the DeFi sector are likely inevitable, particularly if the industry aims to achieve global adoption. Install Lab CEO Edward Adlard told Cointelegraph DeFi's next evolutionary step is to get institutional traditional finance money to participate. However, he believes there are two main obstacles. First, TradFi companies are not operationally set up to use crypto tools. Second, TradFi companies need to figure out how they can legally assess those products and offer them to clients. DeFi dApps need to walk a line between implementing through AML procedures to attract TradFi liquidity and not become a target for regulatory action. And finally, the last bit here, compliance tools are already available. Simmons explains that the DeFi sector in Europe could use a system of trustworthy issuers to handle ID verification independently. Adlard noted that DeFi KYC service Instapass could create custom credentials that fulfill EU regulations, adding that DeFi apps could easily make access to specific parts of their product contingent on users having that credential, regardless of whether a DeFi protocol chooses to pursue institutional adoption or complete decentralization. It will have to adjust to adapt to the shifting legal landscape of the European Union. So that's the article there. You can see rules and regulations are coming in. It looks like in the RH ecosystem, Richard has chosen to go down the fully decentralized path. But it'll be interesting, particularly for institutional investors, to see how they start putting their money around and if they choose the more centralized version. So something for us to keep an eye on here with these new EU laws that are coming in this year.